for baseball, and the Sox hope to stick it to Boston next on WGN. We are coming to you from Comiskey Park in Chicago, where this afternoon, WGN Sports presents White Sox Baseball. It's a Big Hurt, Frank Thomas, Robin Ventura, and the Chicago White Sox is a host Mo Vaughn, Nomar Garcia-Pera, and the Boston Red Sox. Hi, everybody, and welcome to Comiskey Park. With Tom Paciorek, I'm Ken Harrell. Since we get set to bring you the finale of this three-game set, it will be the rubber match. Sox took the opener 3-2. Jim Parquet really pitched well. Then last night, Pedro Martinez with 11 strikeouts just dominated the Sox bats as he won it 6-1. And this afternoon, a big contrast out there, Wimpy. It'll be Scott Air against Tim Wakefield.
I think the biggest key in this afternoon's ball game, Hawk, is the ability of the White Sox hitters to adjust from the 97-mile-an-hour fastball that they saw last night from Pedro Martinez to the 70-mile-an-hour knuckleball that they're going to see this afternoon from Tim Wakefield, who can be just as tough on the hitters as was Martinez. Scott Air, he's been having trouble walking batters. He's got to stay away from the base on balls this afternoon.
All right, sit back, relax, and strap it down. Finale of this three-game set, and we'll be back with the rest of the starting lineups right after this.
Chicago White Sox
Park in Chicago for the final game of this three-game series and the rubber game. Sox and Boston Red Sox. Boy, it was Pedro Martinez last night completely dominating with that 97-mile-an-hour fastball. And now the White Sox hitters have got to get used to Tim Wakefield's knuckler. So Jimmy Williams is the skipper for Boston, and here is his lineup for this afternoon's contest. Leading off in right field, Darren Lewis. Batting second and third, John Valentin. Nomar Garcia-Pera is at shortstop. He'll hit third. Cleanup man is first baseman Mo Vaughn. Jimmy Leyritz is the DH. He'll hit fifth, followed by left fielder Troy O'Leary. Damon Buford plays center field. Hits in the seventh spot. Hitting eighth at second base, Lou Merlone. And bringing up the rear behind the plate is Jason Varitek. And here's the White Sox defense, brought to you by Coca-Cola. Albert Bell is in left field. Mike Cameron stationed in center, and Maglio Ordonez in right. Robin Ventura returns to third base. Chris Snopek is the shortstop. Ray Durham plays second, and Greg Norton is at first. Chad Kruger behind the plate, and 26-year-old left-hander Scott Air on the mound. Scott 1-6 with a 5.23 ERA. He has started 13 games, no complete ones. 76 hits and 72 and a third. That's not bad, but the 46 walks is very, very high. 51 strikeouts. The umpires, our good friends in blue, are Ed Hickox at home plate, Ken Kaiser, Mr. Friendly at first, Terry Kraft at second, and Larry Young is the third base umpire. It is a gorgeous afternoon for baseball. Temperature appears to be about the high 80s coming in on the freeway, but it's 83. At Comiskey Park, wind out of the southwest at 9. The forecast is for sunny conditions. Scott Air making his second appearance this season against the Boston Red Sox. Had a no decision, but he pitched very effectively at Fenway. He worked 7 innings, gave up 8 hits and 2 runs in his first meeting ever against Boston. That came last year. Check that. That was last 97, right at the end of the season in September. So, a lot of youngsters on hand. We're ready for some baseball, and here's the Hawkeroo.
All right, Wimpy, thank you. And once again, good afternoon, everyone, and welcome to beautiful Comiskey Park for White Sox baseball right here over WGN Sports. Darren Lewis gets set to lead it off. Darren hitting at 283, 3 homers. He's driven in 21. 1 for 9 in the first 2 games of this series. Red Sox come in hitting at 279 as a team with a 4.20 team ERA. As a first pitch, there's a strike. This is the 5th meeting of the year between these two ball clubs. They have split the first 4. Scott making his 14th start in his 15th appearance of the season. As Lewis fakes a bunt, takes the ball, and the count evens at 1. 347 down the lines, 375 in the gaps, and 400 straight away center field. But breeze there is, according to Old Glory out there, is blowing straight in from center. as the count moves to 2-1. But you can never tell here at Comiskey Park. As a rule, the wind is just the opposite of the way the flags are blowing. With a circular action. There's a strike on the outside corner to even the count at 2. And later on, we'll have Wimpy give you a little dissertation on the circulation of the winds here at Comiskey Park.
Right. Along with the
barometric pressures and everything that go into the be factored in.
Well, the clouds, too, have a great deal to do with it.
Full count. Pitch a little bit low. John Valentin on deck. Red Sox 13 games over at 40-27, 9 games back of the Yankees. Ball hit hard in the hole. But Darren Lewis, he was 0 for 4 last night. As we mentioned, 1 for 9 in this series, but he's hit some line shots.
He's hit a lot better than that 1 for 9. I'll tell you, he's lined out about 4 or 5 times. As you can see, the Boston Red Sox in the last 10 games, 299 as a team. Cleveland at 295. Anaheim just behind them. The Twins and the Blue Jays, the American League average is at 272.
So here's Valentin hitting at 247, 8 homers. He's driven in 29. He's still looking for his first hit in this series. He has been to the plate 7 times officially.
I have never seen John Valentin this late, this many times on fastballs.
Neither. No, he's, as a rule, one of the better, certainly in the top 10 fastball hitters in this league. In this series, he is very, very tardy. Standing up, makes that little drop move straight down. Watch his head. Now he tries to bunt it. That's a good one. Robbins got to hurry. Bare hand underneath. Nice pick by Norton.
Yes.
What a beautiful play. Both ends, Ventura and Norton. You're the greatest.
That really was a great pick. Boy, he got fully extended. Norton did. Robin, of course, is just great at this play. Perfect bunt by Valentin. That'll work as a sacrifice or a base hit. Disguised it well. Robin coming on. Left foot forward, 1 step, and bang. Oh, look at the play by Norton. That's a tough pick to his backhand side. Great concentration, too, looking that ball into his glove.
So here's Nomar Garcia-Parra. Nomar hitting at 300. 7 homers, 41 knocked in. He's 4 for 8 in this series. Rips that breaking ball hard and past Wendell Kim. Thank goodness that would, you know, somebody a little larger like Latch or somebody like that
Would have nailed him.
Oh, yeah.
Wendell's a very
small target.
Yeah, small target. Yeah, tough to get him.
Good strike on the inside corner, and the count 0-2. 26-year-old southpaw. Opposition hitting .269 this season against Scott, but he has thrown 17 homers. That fastball flared right side. That'll be a souvenir. He's a player. Made a couple of terrific plays in this series defensively. As we talked about, just one of the many great young shortstops in the American League. Better hurry up and get that down, big guy. There's the off-speed pitch, and that's foul back. Alex, Rodriguez, Derek Jeter, Nomar Garcia-Parra. You just go on and on.
Yeah. You know, he's got power, too. 30 homers last year, 98 RBIs, and he was a leadoff man.
Scott on count 0-2. And that's chop foul. Wendell will make that play and make himself a new fan and a new fan.
one thing, when you get 2 strikes on Garcia Parra, he'll chase some bad pitches now. He only walked 35 times last year. Well, I wouldn't be too concerned about throwing him a strike right here, being up in the count 0-2.
Another breaking ball. Chopped over into the Sox dugout. Out of Georgia Tech.
Yeah, I saw him play when he was in college, and I was more impressed with his defensive skills than I was his offense.
Well, Darren Bragg, an outfielder on this club. Jason Veritek, the catcher, all out of Georgia Tech, as there's another check swing foul.
And Veritek was the real stud of that group. You know, he was the #1 player in the country basically his senior year. But he didn't sign. He just virtually sat out a whole year, and that really hurt him.
Ball gets away from Cruder, back on the screen. So that'll be a wild pitch with Lewis moving into third. Ball, 2 strikes, 1 out. Well, there are a lot of people, including some agents out there, who really don't understand what it means for a youngster to sit out a year.
Yeah,
it's very difficult because you got guys waltzing right on by you, guys who are picking up more experience, and the same guys that you were ahead of now you get behind, and sometimes you don't catch up.
That's right.
Sox with the infield in as that fastball high off the plate, and the count 2-2.
And chances are that agent never played the game.
Yeah.
So they don't understand what it's like.
Well, it's a series of progressions, Whippy. You know, that's the reason you get older. You know, you're 1 year older in high school and you get better. There's a shot. Had him 0-2. Fouled off a lot of pitches. Garcia Parra can do that. And it's 1-0 Carmines.
The only success the Sox have had against Garcia Parra so far in this series, and he is 5 for 9, is with fastballs inside. That one was up and out over the plate, and he's looking out there, especially with 2 strikes to protect, and that's exactly what he wanted to do, inside out at the right center.
Garcia Parra is 6 for 9 in stolen bases as Mo Vaughn stands in. Mo is 1 for 8 in this series. That ball hit hard into center. Cameron is back there. Wow. On the track, makes the catch. A hang with him for Vaughn. And that's out number 2.
I thought that was out of here.
He had a chance.
Yeah. Remember the first game against Parquet? Mo was way up in front of the plate. Well, this time he was right on the back line, so he's moved back a little bit, trying to make an adjustment, because the Sox pitchers have really been jamming him first 2 games of the series. Virtually a no stride right there by Mo. Hit it hard.
Here's the DH, Jim Leyritz, hitting at .286, 8 homers. He's driven in 22. Leyritz played in the opener. He was 2 for 3 and knocked in both Red Sox runs. You know, getting back to that, that's what happens. You get these youngsters who are getting a year older. They're playing, you know, a lot of baseball. They keep improving. And guys who are not sitting down and being idle, they just go right on by them.
The hungry guys, yeah.
Well, sometimes guys will sit out for a year or 2 and they lose a little bit of their competitive edge. The desire is still there, but the competitive edge is not quite what it was.
I think that happens a lot. They lose the competitive edge when they sign for a lot of money, too.
That's another factor.
Well, you got to do some severe research as to the psychological profile of the guys that you're drafting, especially in the earlier rounds, that you're going to give them a lot of money.
Well, they're trying to do that. They're trying to get more and more into that. And it's still just in its infancy. As there's a curveball strike and a count 0-2. You know, in football, they have those combines. Players go and work out. They do some psychological work there. Plus, they get to see them all at the same time competing against each other, time-wise, strength-wise. There's about a 54-footer. And with the the money the way it is today and the investment that the ball clubs have to put, I wouldn't mind seeing somewhat of a combine in baseball.
There's nothing wrong with that. I mean, heck, you know, you're constantly reading where the #1, #2 draft choice who got $1 million to sign will says, well, maybe this is what I really want to do. So they take the money and they go home. You know, that's real fair.
Yeah. Well, tip hung on to by Kruder. And no, he said it hit the ground. And Hickok said it hit the ground. Everybody was on their way in, and here comes Jerry Manuel. That's a good call by Hickox.
Yeah, that glove, there's no way Kruder could make the plays. Glove's got to be pointing up. The pocket's got to be pointing up for him to make that catch. And it was down. There's no way you could.
Well, Ken Kaiser pointing to his chest, which is a mighty big chest out there, saying, I made the call.
Yeah.
There's a handsome man.
See, nobody argues with him.
Not too many.
Not even Bobby the Brain Heenan.
You might get some of those big guys. There's a Diamond Dallas. What's his last name?
Yeah, one of those guys.
Yeah. They might argue with Kenny a little bit.
I was in a room with Kenny one night. He slammed the phone on somebody, and Bobby asked him, Kenny, is that your next job going to be as a concierge at the Motel 6?
Here's a chopper to Hopper. Snowpeck underneath over to Durham. They force Garcia-Pera, but after half inning of play, it's Boston 1 and the good guys coming up.
1-0 Red Sox, bottom of the first inning. Here's the Sox lineup brought to you by Coca-Cola. The top third of Durham, Snowpeck, and Thomas. The middle third will feature Albert Bell, Robin Ventura, and Maglio Ordonez. And the bottom third of Greg Norton, Mike Cameron, and Chad Kruder. Defensively, the Red Sox have O'Leary, Buford, and Lewis. In the outfield, Valentin, Garcia-Parra, Merloni, and Vaughn. Veritek and Wakefield, the battery.
First pitch to Ray is taken for a ball. Durham hitting at 288, 6 homers, 25 driven in. And Ray's still looking for his first hit in the series. He's 0 for 8. He's had a tough time against Wakefield. In 19 career at-bats, he has 3 hits. And as we discuss every time there's a knuckleball pitcher out there against the Sox, which is not that often, there are many, many theories, many ways and concepts on how to go about hitting a knuckleballer. What's yours, Wimpy?
Me.
Go ahead.
Get right up on top of the plate, way up in front of the batter's box. Swing hard in case you hit it. Don't let it break as much as it can possibly break.
He gets jammed right there, the comebacker. Well, I certainly agree with getting on top of the plate.
Tim Wakefield, 31-year-old right-hander, is 7-3 with a 4.07 ERA and 14 starts. 89 hits and 97 1/3. That's good. 25 walks. That's great control for a knuckleball pitcher, and 56 strikeouts. Timmy's most effective, too, when he throws that thing real slow.
Chris Snowpeck. Chris hitting at 247. No homers. He's driven in 3. He's 0 for 5 lifetime against Wakefield. Takes a strike. And before we show you our picks to click, you at home make your selection. 2 Hopper, Valentin. And let's check out our picks to click this afternoon. Fillmore, Skip Ellison. Our director went with Ventura. Susan Evans and all the ladies out there, for all the ladies out there, went with Ordonez, Wimpy. Going to go with Snowpeck. Krista Casey and I are going to go with the Big Hurt. Frank takes ball 1. Thomas hitting at 270. 11 homers, 45 knocked in. He homered last night off Pedro Martinez. Got a curveball. Pedro got it up just enough. And Frank hit it on the black backdrop out there in center field. Boy, that thing's boogalooing up there. 3-0. Throw him a fastball. Right down the middle, Tim.
He should.
And let's see how far he can hit it. Another knuckleball, and that's ball 4. I think the last time Frank saw Wakefield, he took him out 3 times.
He certainly did. That was at Fenway Park. Was that last year?
Yeah.
It was an afternoon game.
Yes, it was.
And we were there.
I love it when you analyze, you know.
What did I just say?
There's Albert hitting at 276, 16 homers, 55 driven in. Harold Baines is an outstanding knuckleball hitter.
Great knuckleball hitter.
Sox had another one as that's in the dirt. Darrell Boston was an outstanding knuckleball hitter.
Dibber. Jerry Dibzinski.
Wait a minute now. You're stretching now, man.
Oh, no, I'm not.
Oh, yeah, you are. Why is it you love to stretch?
You asked Charlie Huff.
Ask Dibber?
Yes, well, Dibber. No. He'll change your oil while he's telling you the answer to it. Fix your TV.
21 counts out.
I'll tell you who could be one of the greats of all time is Mark Salas. Charlie Huff hated pitching to Mark Salas.
Chief had a little short stroke.
Yeah.
Big Frank takes off. No throw by Veritek. That's his 4th stolen base of the season in 4 attempts. Thank you very much.
No, it's understandable that you can steal on a knuckleballer. Well, Veritek has thrown out 9 out of about 30 right now. But he had no chance right there. We got that big glove.
2-1 to count. That's foul, and that'll be out of play.
As a matter of fact, the Chief, there's Chief right there.
There's the Chieftain, another handsome man.
Oh, he is. I was with the Rangers, and we were playing Minnesota. And Charlie Huff was pitching, and Salas was not in the lineup, mysteriously. He says, wait a minute, this guy's hitting 800 off of him. Well, it turned out that Salas was being traded during the middle of that game. The game went extra innings. Charlie pitched into the 10th. Salas came up to pinch hit a home run, and left the Twins for the Yankees.
Albert chases a good knuckleball right there for Wakefield. Strikes out, and that'll do it after 1-0 Carmines. Kankakee. Well, they got a lot of my money in Kankakee.
Yes.
1-0 Red Sox. And we got a lot of email, you know.
We do? Where?
Yeah, right here.
Oh.
And one of them said, why do we call the Red Sox occasionally Carmines? We've had this before, but we'll explain it to you as Troy O'Leary stands in. O'Leary hitting at 297, 13 homers, 35 driven in. 2 for 9 in this series with 1 RBI. Well, carmine is a color of red. And it's not unlike the White Sox being called the Pale Hose. As there's the strike and the count 1-1. Or in the past, the Cubs being called the Bruins. Red Sox, I remember playing some games when the next day the headlines would say, Carmines defeat Yankees, or Carmines lose to Baltimore. That's popped up. Snowpack. So that's why we occasionally call them the Carmines. And if you want to email us, here it is. Email Hawkin Wimpy or Hawkin Duke or Hawkin Big Bob at Tribune.com.
Do you have any other great stories for us?
Well, here's an interesting one from Tom Carisi out of, said a compulsive WGN viewer in Southern California.
Cool.
Says, Hawkin Wimpy, I need some help. A friend of mine and I are very much at odds. When George Brett reached first base after hit number 3,000, was he or wasn't he called out after the California Angels pulled a hidden ball trick?
No, I don't think so.
I don't either. I don't know.
I have no idea.
Me either. But I don't. I think I probably would have remembered that.
Yeah, that's rotten.
Oh. George is going to chase somebody all around the field if they'd have done that to him.
Man. That is rotten because your emotions, you're not thinking anything about where you're supposed to be.
2-0 pitch. 3-0 to Damon Buford.
Wow. That'd be the only time George would have been picked off. I'll guarantee you that, the way he ran the bases.
My all-time favorite baseball player, George Brett, Dennis Amenas. There's a strike. And that's ball 4. So the first walk issued by Scott Air. And that'll bring up the second baseman, Lou Merlone. He looks pretty good as you look at. Man, that's a whole bunch of base on balls right there. 50 by Jason, 48 by Scott. But Merlone, 3 for 7 in this series with a couple of RBIs, those coming last night. That was a big hit in that ball game. Hit an inside fastball. Carlos Castillo off the left field wall. Boy, he did a real good job. He's short and quick. Merlone, just 26 years old, out of Framingham, Mass. A local product.
Well, he's got an opportunity to play, and he's taking advantage of it. It's good to see.
It's blocked by Cooter. Count evens at 1. And here's one from Yorkie. Saskatoon, Saskatchewan, Canada. Watches all the games over WGN. Says, who was the first player to ever get a piece of the gate? Was it Reggie Jackson?
That came to my mind, Reggie. Saskatoon, that's where Gordie Howe's from.
Oh, baby. Gordie Howe. What a great player.
Oh, yes.
What a great player. What a great guy.
Yeah, I would have to think it was Reggie. I don't know.
I don't know if anybody ever got a piece of the gate.
Well, Reggie did when he was with the Angels, didn't he?
Yeah, there was an attendance clause. You're right. There was something like 50 cents over a certain amount.
Yeah, there was like.
Yeah, you're right. 2-1 the count. Buford, a decent lead over there. He's 5 for 8 in stolen bases. Bill Scott's going to have a little catch with Greg Naughton. Has shanked right off the hosel. So the count evens at 2. Shank went for Roo.
I heard you.
This one's cute.
No longer in my repertoire.
Says, your what hurts?
Go ahead.
What happened the other day on the practice tee in Minnesota?
I forgot.
There goes Buford. That ball fouled out of play right side. So the count hangs at 2-2.
I was just showing you how not to hit a ball.
Here's one that's really cute. It says, how do you guys like the curse so far? The Sox are in the 8th year of the 25-year curse that I have put on them because of the destruction of old Comiskey Park. I'm thinking about reducing it to 10. I still enjoy watching all the games over WGN. The Curse Meister.
Come on, Curse Meisters. Lay off now. Do it now.
Got him on the inside corner. A beauty, and Merlone is gone. 2 down.
First strikeout for Scott Air. It's a great pitch for him, right on the inside corner. That'll work well against these right-handed hitters. Right there.
Jason Varitek, switch hitting catcher. Jason hitting at 234, a homer. He has driven in 13. Jason caught in the opener. He was 0 for 4. Outfield just about straight up, spread out, equidistant. As that fastball. Wimpy, you said you saw Veritek play a lot of games at Georgia Tech, and I remember
a couple times.
I remember before he signed, you said what an outstanding prospect you thought he was. Do you see any differences in him now than then?
Yeah.
Well, analyze.
Well, I'll tell you what, he was really, to me, a real physical specimen at Georgia Tech. And to me, I don't get that impression anymore. And I don't know. I just was more impressed with everything that he did back a few years ago than what I see right now. I saw a quick bat, and I haven't seen it yet. I've only seen him hit a few times in the major leagues. And when he was running, he seemed like he had above average speed, much above average, especially for a catcher. And he threw great down to second base. I don't see any of those things right now that I did back then.
That pitch foul back.
Of course, it was only a few games. I think I saw him play 3 games. I believe Jay Payton was also on that team, the #1 pick for the Mets. Played center field for him. Outstanding looking prospect back then, but he's been plagued with injuries his entire minor league career.
Who's the coach at Georgia Tech?
Oh, jeez. He used to be at Michigan, an assistant when my brother Jimbo was there. I can't think of his name right now.
Good strike on the inside corner. Scott's got his living. He is got good movement on that fastball, and especially to a solid offensive hitting team like the Red Sox. He has got to stay inside with that fastball. Then you can go away after you establish that, but you've got to establish it.
Yeah, his last outing was against Minnesota. Now, if I've ever seen a team that you can just live inside, it's the Minnesota Twins. I mean, there was more bats broken in that series than anyone I think I've seen in a long, long time. But he only went 3 innings, gave up 9 hits. I mean, some of them were clunkers, but he could have pitched more inside that game.
Two balls, 2 strikes, 2 out here in the top of the second. Run on 2 hits, no errors for the Red Sox. No runs, no hits, and no errors for the good guys. Marty Contreras, pitching coach. Curveball. So a full count with Darren Lewis on deck. .44 pitches here in 1 2/3 inning.
And really working slowly.
Yeah.
Real slow.
Yeah. Fouls that fastball back.
Man, you would think that these guys have got to take a cue from Mike Soroka. I mean, Soroka gets it. You would think. I mean, you just can't sit with this guy and watch him pitch and look at the success and say, wait a minute, I've got as much ability as he has. How come he's getting these guys out and I'm not?
Well, he'll be out there tomorrow night against Bob Tewksbury when the Minnesota Twins of Tom Kelly come in to start a 4-game series as that pitch fouled out of play. And we will have that game for you right here over WGN Sports. As a matter of fact, we will have the first 2 games of that Twin series right here over WGN. Soroka against Tewksbury and Jamie Navarro against LaTroy Hawkins of Gary, Indiana. Yeah, but you would think playing on the same team especially. I mean, hitters do it. You know, you play on a team and you see a guy who's having a tremendous season. First thing you want to do is try to get one of his bats. That's number 1.
Right.
Number 2 is you maybe start, if you're not going that well, start trying to implement some of the idiosyncrasies of his swing into yours. Same thing holds true with pitchers. If you see a guy who gets out there and he gets it, throws it, gets it, throws it, first pitch strike,
yeah,
and he's successful, you would think, wait a minute, maybe I should try that.
A heck of a concept.
But no.
Maybe it goes into being your own man these days.
You think?
Yeah, might be.
Men from Mars and women from Venus. Hey, by the way,
Something like that.
how's that going with you?
Oh, I don't know.
Have you,
Not too
are
good.
you keeping in touch with your feminine side?
Of course. You have to.
To be a well-rounded guy, huh?
Sure.
Yes, he's gone. He'll grab some bench, and that'll retire the side. Nothing across after an inning and a half. It's still 1-0 Beantowners. One nothing Boston here in the bottom of the second inning. Tim Wakefield walked Frank Thomas in the bottom of the first. He stole second, but he got everybody else out. So it'll be Ventura, Ordonez, and Norton. As Robin comes up, checking a slate of action in the American League, Kansas City is hosted by the Tribe in Cleveland. Toronto at Tampa Bay, Minnesota takes on Buddy Bell's Tigers. Yankees are at Camden Yards against the Orioles. Oakland at Texas, and Seattle is at Anaheim to take on the Halos. Here's Robin hitting at 283. Takes a good knuckleball. And let's check out our ComEd Power Profile on Robin in his last 6 ball games. Hitting at 348, 6 RBIs, 5 runs, and 23 at-bats. As he just breezed that one right on by Ventura. 0-2. That's high into center field. Damon Buford.
And the sixth right fielder, number 30, Tagliano Ordonez.
Here's Maggs. Watch out. Maggs gets hit. That's the 7th hitter this year that Wakefield has plunked. That was a little softer than the way he got drilled last night from Pedro Martinez.
Yeah. All right, knuckleball just lost it. Completely got away from him.
And a reminder, Sox fans, you can get one of the hottest caps around this Friday, June 19th, as the Sox take on the Twins at 7:05. Now, the first 15,000 fans will receive a Sox baby blue cap, courtesy of Dannon. So for tickets, dial 312-831-1-SOX. Here's Naughton. Watch out. That almost, yeah, he's got a darter out there. Boy, that one that he struck Albert on was really a tough pitch. And according to the wind, it might be that the wind is swirling and coming back out into the face of Wakefield. That's what it appears, as much as that thing is moving.
Yeah, once he gets it gauged, though, he's going to be awfully tough.
Boy, Naughton had a very, very dangerous at bat last night off Martinez. Pinch hitting role. Jerked him out of here foul on a 95-mile-an-hour fastball, and then Martinez made a good pitch on him. But he gave himself a chance.
Yeah, he did. It was almost a 3-run homer. Just an eyelash.
Tell you what, though, we've got some good-looking young players. Ordonez, Abbott, Russo, Naughton, Durham, Hammer. There goes Maggs. No throw by Veritek, as that's ball 4. So with 1 out, Sox have 2 on.
Well, he talked about Wakefield's control. It's been very good. He's averaging about walk every 4 innings, which is terrific for a knuckleball pitcher. But he's also walked 2 in this game already, and he's hit a batter.
So Wakefield, in his career, he's won 63 times, lost 51. 2-3 lifetime against the Sox. And he will now face Mike Cameron. Mike hitting at .215. He's 3 for 7 in this series. Takes ball 1. Mike, last night, a couple of solid shots for base hits his last 2 at-bats. Outfield playing him to pull slightly. Bit of a gap in right center field. That ball hit deep into right. Lewis back at the fence. He jumps. Cannot make the play. Here comes Ordonez. Here comes Norton. He'll score, and the Sox lead it 2-1. Mike Cameron's double.
Wow. Darren Lewis wound up in the Boston bullpen right there trying to make that catch. Take another look at it. That's like a curveball right there. A real slow one that he got up. It hits in the middle of the fence and takes Darren Lewis right into the bullpen. Well, they didn't close the door. But Mike Cameron rips that ball hard into the gap for a 2-run double. And Mike now with 26 runs batted in on the season.
So the Sox on top 2-1, and here's Chad Kruder. There goes Cameron. Veritek with the throw. Not in time. At a stolen base. Number 13 in 17 attempts.
Great job by Cameron. Boy, just when they're on their heels a little bit thinking about that double and trying to throw a strike is Tim Wakefield. He takes off. Ooh, and gets in there just ahead of that tag by Valentin. Good play on with 1 out.
So now Boston brings their infield in. Kruder fouls that pitch straight back. So the count 0-2. Come on, Chad. Bristle up. So the hit batsman, the walk, is jumped up and bitten. Tim Wakefield. Tried to backdoor him right there. He misses.
Well, that's good right there. 5 for 6. Driving home that run. Taunton telling him how he did it.
That's off the glove. Here comes Cameron as they shuffle it over to Mo Vaughn as Mike scores, and it's a 3-1 Sox lead. That'll be 1-4-3 if you're scoring.
Well, that little ricochet cost the Red Sox a run right there. RBI for Kruder. Chad now with 15. Ball was not hit hard. That's a pretty good recovery there by Merloni. Off the end of his glove. A little spin move by Lou. Knows he has no chance to get Cameron.
Ray takes a butterfly up there, and the count 0-1. So 3 runs on just 1 hit for the Sox. You'll see a lot of funny looking numbers on that scoreboard a lot of times against knuckleballers. There's a good strike. So right down in the count 1-2 with Snopek, the on-deck hitter. He's gone, but the Sox do some damage, coming up with 3. And we'll go to the third. They lead it 3-1. 3 runs, 1 hit. No errors for the Sox. A run on 2 hits, no errors for Boston. And Mike Cameron, big figure. And no sweet tallies. He knocked in 2 and scored the other. So for the Red Sox, it will be the top of the order. Darren Lewis, John Valentin, and Nomar Garcia-Parra. Lewis singled and scored in the first inning. There they are. Johnny on the spot, going to fix that bullpen gate and make sure it does not pop open again. That curveball misses down low. That evens the count at 1. Over in the National League, slate of action shows Pittsburgh at Philadelphia, Colorado at San Francisco. The Mets take on the Expos in Montreal, Milwaukee at Chicago, Arizona at Cincinnati, Florida at Atlanta. Cardinals take on the Astros in Houston, and the Dodgers against the Padres in San Diego. Foul down at the plate, so the count hangs at 1-2. There's a chopper right side. Scott's got to hurry. He makes a fine play. What a good play by Scott Air.
Very athletic play right here. Here's a number off the end of the bat. Darren Lewis gets down that line in a hurry. It's by the pitcher, and Scott's only play is to barehanded, which he wisely does. And the underhand flip to Norton. He's the only guy that could have made that play.
Here's Valentin, had a sacrifice bunt, but it was a beautiful play turned in both ends by Ventura and Greg Norton. Takes that pitch outside. Valentin, 31-year-old veteran. Two and 0 the count. And a reminder, you can get a bang out of your weekend at Comiskey Park this Saturday, June 20th. You can catch a beautiful fireworks show following the Sox Twins game at 6:05, courtesy of all the good folks at LaSalle Bank. So come on out for tickets. Dial 312-831-1 Sox. Ball hit hard. One hopper, piece of cake for Ventura. Bring up the shortstop, Nomar Garcia-Parra or Ramon Arapacrat.
Either or.
Whatever you call him, he's a tremendous player. He's got an RBI single in this ball game. Got down in the count 0-2 and fought off about 4 or 5 pitches. Finally worked the count to 2-2. Then a fastball up out over the plate hard into right field. Change up down low and the count 2-0. Cruder sitting up to the inside, and that fastball misses high. 3-0 with Mo Vaughn on deck. There's the strike. Come back and get it, Scott. good change. Had him way out in front. Nice delivery. Nice arm action. Here's the payoff. And he loses him. So with 2 out. Garcia Parrott first. Mo Vaughn at the plate. Let's pause for station identification.
This is America's #1 sports station, WGN, Chicago.
Along with the one Peru, Big Bob, the Duke Meister, Tom Patroy, Ken Harrelson from beautiful Comiskey Park. Finale of this 3-game set with Boston. And it is the rubber match. They have a shift on for Mo. Yeah, Ventura and Snopek almost shaking hands with each other out there. A little bit of space between Snopek and Durham. Mo hit a line drive deep into center field his first at bat. This is hit even deeper right here. Curveball. He got up. Cameron back. You can put it on the board. 2-run homer for Mo Vaughn, and this game is tied at 3.
That's his 20th of the season. Very little doubt about this one. He got a little bit more elevation. And on the black backdrop, 49 RBIs now for Mo. First hit of the series. He got a breaking ball up, out over the plate. Didn't fool him a bit. Short stride, short swing. Gone.
Jim Leyritz takes that pitch down low. Leyritz hit into a 6-4 fielder's choice. He's just so strong. Strong man. Can't get that fastball. That evens the count at 1. So 3 runs on 3 hits, no errors for Boston. 3 runs on 1 hit, no errors for the Sox. One and 2 the count to Leyritz. A little bit low, 2 and 2. That curveball misses. Leyritz will always be remembered for that home run he hit off Mark Wahlers.
That's right. The World Series. Hanging slider.
That's what it was. That ball hit hard. Ventura backhand sets. Long peg. Yes, in time. Nice play, Ventura. And it'll retire the side. But Mo Vaughn's 20th homer of the year. A 2-run blast. And after 2.5, tied at 3. Chris Snopek leads off the bottom of the 3rd. 3 runs, 3 hits, no errors for the Red Sox. 3 runs, 1 hit, and no errors for our Sox. Tim Wakefield. Taking too much time. Snopek, 0 for 1. He grounded out to John Valentin at 3rd. That pitch down low, and the count 3-0 for Wakefield, who hit Ordonez, walked Norton last inning. They both crossed the plate. Throws that little blazer right across.
What do you think? Charlie's fastball was quicker than that, or Charlie Huff's, or
Yeah, oh
Wakefield?
yeah. Chuck Meister, oh yeah.
The blazer?
Yeah, yeah. It was ball, yeah.
Another one.
Snopek thought that was a ball. Meanwhile, the count is full.
Well, here comes another one.
Wakefield, 6'2", 205 pounds.
Nope.
Misses with a knuckleball. So the third walk. And a reminder, Sox fans, you can celebrate Father's Day at Comiskey Park this Sunday, June 21st, when the Sox take on the A's. Oh. Not taking on the A's. That's Twins. They'll be in town this Sunday. At 1:05, be one of the first 2,500 fans to enter gate 1 with a Fuji color quick snap camera. As Frank takes ball 1. And you'll get to participate in a known field photo session with your favorite White Sox players and coaches. So stop by any Chicagoland Walgreens for details. And for tickets, dial 312-831-1SOX. Sky to air, Mike Sorotka. Mike charting those pitches. Here's a 2-0 pitch to the Big Hurt. That's off the end of the bat into left center field. Frank just a hair quick right there. Damon Buford makes the catch, and that's out number 1. So here comes Albert. Boy, Wakefield really pitched him tough with some moving, darting knuckleballs. His first at bat struck him out.
Yeah, that knuckleball that goes down and away.
Unhittable.
Oh, yeah. The right-handed hitter. Best you can do is just take it.
Hope you can foul it off.
Yeah.
Snopek, 2 for 2 in stolen bases this year. Young man out of Cynthiana, Kentucky. That one darts down low. Young Sox fans enjoying a beautiful afternoon here in the beautiful city of Chicago. We got a floater right there over the inside part of the plate. That evens the count at 1. We were talking about how you go about hitting knuckleballers, though. I agree with standing right on top of the plate. They don't like to throw knuckleballs to right-handed hitters standing right on top of the plate. You are making them change their delivery to a degree which forces some of the action that you are in control of.
Yeah. And plus, move up in front of that box, chances are you'll get it before it takes its last break. Maybe catch it a little higher than you would normally. Plus, it's only 70 miles an hour, so you can hit up in front of the batter's box.
Yeah, well, that's not a problem. I also think, though, on the other side of that page, as far as approaching a knuckleballer, is if you get way back as far as you can get. It's almost the same thing as moving up, is moving all the way back as far as you can get, because that way you get a chance to let it get to be a ball. And it's either one's right or wrong for the individual.
If you got patience, you can stand back there.
Yeah. That's a good point. That's a real good point. I think that if you don't have a lot of patience, or maybe you're not going real good at the plate, your best alternative would be to move up in the box.
Well, chances are you're going to be a little bit quick anyway on whatever he throws up there. You're more likely to hit it off the end of the bat.
There goes Snopek. Veritek with the throw, not in time. So the third stolen base of the afternoon. Well, the Sox, they stole 4 last night. 7 in the last 2 ball games.
No, that's what you have to do on a knuckleball pitcher. It's going to be a tough. If you can run it all, you got to be able to steal a base on a knuckleballer. Just that much tougher to catch. You got the big glove. You got to get it out of there quickly. Veritek is really at a disadvantage when somebody gets on base.
Well, I'll tell you what, in the last couple of weeks, you also get the sense that the Sox are becoming more and more aggressive out there.
Yeah.
I mean, a lot more. Good knuckleball right there. I mean, a real darter. 2 gone. What's this one?
Oh,
wow.
Oh,
You got no chance on that.
no, that's down and in.
He struck him out on the first time up, down and away. This one, almost like a screwball, going down and in. So here's Ventura. There's another good one. They got a shot at third, and they get him. So Snopek roll the dice right there, loses. We'll go to the 4th, tied at 3. Our Southwest Airlines tail of the tape here in the top of the 4th inning. A 3-3 tie. Mo Bonds, 20th homer last inning. Got this thing tied up. Scott Air taking his warm-up tosses, and he will face Troy O'Leary, Damon Buford, and Lou Merlone. Pedro Martinez to the left of your screen from Wakefield. Martinez last night, I'll tell you, he was really fun to watch. He was really fun to watch. I don't like to lose a ball game, but I'll tell you what. There's got to be some reason he's making $12 million.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah, and a Cy Young Award winner.
He was throwing last night between 90 and 93. All of a sudden, he'd get in a jackpot, get in trouble. Sox stranded 12 men in that ball game. And he'd reach back and get it up to 97.
Yeah, when he needed it. Little guy like that, it's amazing.
Well, Larry popped up to Snopek. Takes that pitch inside, and the count 2-0.
"70 pitches. That's not good.
What's a lot?
Just working too hard.
Off the end of the bat, Ray sucks it up, throws him out, 1 gone. And right now, let's check out our Aflac trivia question. Who is the only man to have 2 Major League stadiums named after him? I know that. Drink, Dugmeister.
Comiskey?
Buford takes a strike.
Mr. Comiskey. 2 stadiums. Across the street here.
Off the end of the bat. Snopek on the move. Up with it. On the run. Over to Norton. And quickly 2 gone. Here's Lou Merlone. Scott aced him with a good fastball inside corner. That's off the end of the bat. And that's going to be a duck snort. There's your prototype duck snort right there. That was Wimper-esque. My
Mine
partner
were
made
jam
those
shots.
an art form.
No, not many of those. Jam is the way I like to get them. There's too much pain on the end of the bat.
There is a lot of pain out there.
Oh, man.
I know. When the weather gets a little cold, my fingers start ringing again. Here's Veritek. He struck out. Yeah, in spring training and start the season in cold weather, hate to hit against guys with heavy sinkers.
Yeah.
Especially if you're a pull hitter like I was, getting them off the end of the bat.
Yeah, you get the sinker, you look in, and then you hit it off the end. Instead of, you're afraid to get jammed. It does hurt more off the end of the bat.
Well, I told you that story about Ray Fosse, former teammate of mine when we were at Cleveland. Hey, now, broadcaster for Oakland. As that pitch popped up, Center field. We'll continue with that when we return after Cameron makes this catch. Yes. Nothing across. We'll go to the bottom of the fourth. Tied at 3. That's our story, and we're sticking with it here in the bottom of the 4th inning. Scott Air on the right, Jamie Navarro. Jamie will be out there on Friday against LaTroy Hawkins. And Minnesota comes to town tomorrow for a 4-game weekend series. Robin takes strike 1. Well, we'll be getting back to that Ray Fosse story. We were playing in Cleveland one day, and it was about 30 degrees with a wind chill, probably around 0, and some guy was out there with a, oh boy. Brett Saberhagen has been had. 0-2 the count. Guy with a hard, heavy sinker. So Ray swings the bat, hits. We know he hits him off the end of the bat, and we see something fly off. It was his fingernail. Knocked it right off.
Oh, man.
He came back walking over there, and like a faucet, blood just poured out.
Oh, jeez.
Right index finger. Uh-oh, there's a darter. Fourth strikeout. And right now, let's check out our Aflac Trivia question and answer. Who is the only man to have 2 Major League stadiums named after him? And the answer is Charles Comiskey.
So you were just leading me on, right? I was correct.
You're always right.
Pound for pound.
Big Bob. Here's Maggs. He was hit by a pitch and scored. Takes the strike.
Oh, Ephus knuckleball right there.
Jam job. 2 hopper. Valentin. 2 out. And a reminder, you can treat Dad to a cool day at the ballpark this Sunday, June 21st, when the first 20,000 fans will take a Gatorade cooler bag home. A Gatorade cooler bag. Those are good. Sox take on the Twinkies at 105. So for tickets, just dial 312-831. 1 Sox. That's this Sunday, June 21st. A Gatorade cooler bag.
That is so cool.
Here's Naughton. He walked and scored. That was in the 2nd inning. Oh, baby. 0-2 the count.
Tried to hump up on that one a little bit.
Well, how many knuckleballers are there now? You've got Springer.
Yes.
You got Wakefield. That's it, I believe.
Yeah, I believe. I don't know if there's any in the National.
Get down. Get down. Buford coming on. He can cover some ground out there. Makes the catch. A 1-2-3 inning for Wakefield. We'll go to the 5th, still locked up at 3. Top of the 5th inning. It'll be the top of the order for the Beantowners. Darren Lewis, John Valentin, and Nomar Garcia-Parra to face Scott Air. Darren 1 for 2. He has singled, he has scored, and he has a strike. Well, we mentioned Springer, we mentioned Wakefield, Candiotti. I think that's all 3 of them.
That would be it.
I don't know any. You know, it's always amazed me that you get a guy like, Phil Niekro, Joe Niekro. Why these guys would not start a school. Run it in the winter for guys who are probably not going to make it to the big leagues. And there are an awful lot of guys like that around. A lot of guys in that gray area. Or guys in the big leagues who are maybe on their way out, who know how to pitch to big league hitters and start a school and teach people how to throw the knuckleball. You know, if you get 1 or 2 guys out of there, it's paid for itself.
Oh, absolutely, yeah.
Especially with the premium on pitching today. And first of all, you don't have to get a guy who's going to be a 18-game winner. There's a shot. That's a base hit. Darren Lewis really swinging that bat. But where knuckleballers can really help is giving you innings.
Exactly. That's what will happen. And plus, they're not going to break down. They usually don't miss a start all season long, unless something fluky happens to them. But there's very little strain on the arm. So a guy's career could be extended as long as 10 years.
So here's Valentin. Twice he has gone out to Ventura. Once on a sacrifice bunt and the other on a hard ground ball. Takes a fastball, strike outside corner. Yeah, you take a Charlie Huff, Joe Niekro, Phil Niekro. Get the organizations to send their students to them for a fee, of course. Change up out in front, and count 0-2. And roll the dice and see what happens.
I don't see how that could possibly hurt.
There's a young man really pitched well on Monday night, Jim Parquet. He was outstanding. Picked up his second victory against no defeats. Jimmy worked 7 innings, giving up just 1 run, 4 hits, 3 walks, had 4 strikeouts. No balls, 2 strikes to Valentin. Good effort. Just missed. Top of the 5th inning at Wrigley. Brewers and the Cubs are tied at 3. Sammy Sosa has cranked out his 25th homer. Philadelphia leading Pittsburgh 3-1. That game in the top of the 9th at Veterans Stadium. Close. Yes, he did. And Kaiser with that little flick of the wrist. And that's out number 1.
You know, John Valentin's really confused up at the plate right now. He's way out in front of the breaking ball, and he's behind the fastball. And I think it's that little move he's doing just before the pitch is thrown. He gets down, and he's moving his head and everything, his body straight down to get into a crouch right there. And that changes his whole positioning on how he's going to approach the ball. I can't understand it.
We talked about it last night. I'll tell you what. We've never seen him do that. He's one of the better fastball hitters in this league, and right now he's got no chance.
Right.
You almost got to hit his bat right now.
Yeah, and if your head is moving, it just stands to reason you're not going to see the ball. And
tell me about it.
Yeah.
Played 9 years like that, man.
Well, he always hit from a bit of a crouch, but he got into it a lot earlier than what he's doing right now.
Garcia Parra, 1 for 1, a single, an RBI, a walk, and a run scored. Takes a strike. Yeah, when you're way out in front of the breaking stuff and late on the fastball, you are what is known as in between.
And that is a horrible feeling.
Well, you spend most of your career there, so some guys get used to it, you know. There's a breaking ball, ripped hard into center field. So with 1 out, here come the Red Sox.
Boy, you throw this guy anything up and out over the plate, Garcia Parra is going to hit a bullet.
Here's what Mo did back in the 3rd. He got a curveball, a hanger. Mo now with 20 long ones and 49 driven in.
And Junior continues to lead with 26.
Mo takes that fastball inside.
Yeah, that's a big key for Mo Vaughn for his success, is to lay off of that pitch. Eventually, they're going to have to come out over the plate where he loves it.
There's a curveball. That's a base hit. Yep. Here comes Lewis. He'll score. Garcia-Parra in the third, and it's a 4-3 Red Sox lead.
So Mo gets his third RBI of this ball game. And he now has reached the 50 level right there. Hanger, once again, bell tie curveball. Hits it hard right where Ray Durham isn't. And Nomar with that good speed easily in the third base. So runners at the corners now for Leyritz. And there is activity for the Sox. It's Keith Folk warming up in the pen.
We'll move on now with 210 Major League home runs. Jerry Manuel, the skipper.
That's amazing. Mo, you know, we saw him earlier in the series, and he was up in front of the plate. Made an adjustment to get back in the batter's box, give himself a little bit more time, because he was getting jammed in the first two ball games, Hawk. Coming out this afternoon with 3 very hard-hit shots and 3 RBIs.
Good hitters adjust.
Yep.
Here's Leyritz. He's 0 for 2. Now Scott's just getting around and underneath on his curveball.
I don't know what you call it, the way he delivers the ball. It's a chicken arm, or that elbow flies out.
That ball hit hard into right field. Ordonez going back. He's there right in front of the fence. He makes the catch. As Garcia-Parra tags, he will score. Vaughn tags from first, goes into second. And it's a 5-3 Red Sox lead. I thought that ball had a chance to get up.
Yeah. Ball's jumping out of here pretty good. Well, the warm air.
Well, here's Troy O'Leary. He's popped to short and grounded to second. Takes a strike on the outside half. That curveball. Nope. You can't even do it. But Wimpy's up here trying to emulate Scott's arm action.
Can't do it.
There's a base hit back through the middle. Here comes Vaughn. And it's a 6-3 Boston lead. Inside fastball. And here comes Jerry Manuel. So Scott Air works 4 2/3 heeled apart, and we'll be back to tell you about Keith Folk.
Driven in 3 runs this afternoon. He was held hitless in the first 2 games of this series. 6-3 Boston. 2 out here in the 5th inning, but a single by Troy O'Leary, and that is it for Scott Air, who worked 4 2/3, 8 hits, 6 runs earned. And he gives way to right-hander Keith Folk. Keith, who came over in that trade with the San Francisco Giants last year. Going to try and hold him right there in long relief, see if the Sox can come back against Wakefield. 1-1 record with a 4.83 earned run average in 28 appearances, 1 save, 31 2/3. He has given up 26 hits. That's good. 30 strikeouts is good, just 9 walks, so his control has been real good for the Sox. Pitched very effectively out of the pen last year. Damon Buford will be the first batter he faces as you look at Jerry Manuel in the Sox dugout. And while we have a moment, I want to send out a special hello to my mom and dad watching the game in Grand Blanc. My mom's having a little surgery tomorrow. So good luck, Mom. I'm sure everything's going to be fine. Got to eat those fast today.
Oh. Why does everything always taste so much better at the ballpark?
Yeah.
Damon Buford stands in. Takes a curveball strike. Damon has walked. He has grounded to short. Outfield playing him slightly to pull. Gap in right center field as Volk with that fastball, curveball, occasional slider, and change. Fastball upstairs. That evens the count at 1. They are just getting underway at San Francisco as the Giants are hosting the Rockies. Short lead by O'Leary. There's a good breaking ball. Took something off of it. Had him well out in front. And a count 1-2. Damon Buford. Bad dime. But the 1965 White Sox with a .293 average. Don Buford's a good player.
Oh, yeah.
That curveball popped back. And it'll be on the screen.
Well, when did Don Buford go to the Orioles? That was after the White Sox then, right?
I think he may have gone over there. I think he was there in '66.
That's what I thought. I thought he was there for those good teams that they had in the late 60s, early 70s.
Well, the '66 Orioles were one of the best clubs I've ever seen. Frank Robinson had just come over. He won the Triple Crown that year.
Good trade.
Then Carl Yastrzemski won the Triple Crown in '67, and nobody's done it since then.
Isn't that something? Hey, that's kind of tough to do, though.
Yeah. Uh-oh. High and deep to left field. Albert. Now he's got it surrounded. He's there, makes the catch. And that'll retire the side. But the Red Sox come up with 3 runs. Halfway home, they lead it 6-3.
On today's Discover Card Payback Playback. Last July 4th, the White Sox were smoking against the Red Sox. Mike Cameron was throwing some leather in the outfield. And they used all 9 innings to win this one as Ozzie Guillen scored the winning run in the bottom of the 9th. 6-5 Chicago.
Mike Cameron will lead it off here in the bottom of the 5th inning. Sox need some tallies. 6 runs, 8 hits, no errors for Boston. 3 runs, just 1 hit. That was a 2-run double by Cameron back in the 2nd. Two and 1 to count. Mike also scored the 3rd Sox run on an infield out by Chad Kruder. 3 and 1 to count to Mike. Get it over the wire here that Mike Stanton, Yankee reliever, the southpaw, was suspended for 5 games as that pitch hit into right field. Get down. Get down. It will, but it's foul. Aaron Lewis giving chase. He was suspended for 5 games for hitting Eric Davis. Rafael Palmeiro had hit a home run off of him. Davis was the next hitter. Hit him right in the back. American League President Gene Budig came down hard on him. A 5-game suspension.
That is.
Said Mike Stanton swore that the pitch was not intentional. But says that Budig, continuing his crackdown on beanball incidents, says Mike is gone and that's out number 1, especially in the aftermath of that real serious Yankee-Oriole brawl at Yankee Stadium on May 19th. Well, that's one way to stop it.
I guess so. Well, I tell you, 5 days is a long time. Plus, going to get into that wall a little bit.
Chad Kruder off the end of the bat. No Vaughn. He can pick it down there. He has really made himself a fine defensive first baseman. And it's out number 2.
Oh, we talked about Mo Vaughn being the first guy out on the field every day, working hard on his defensive skills. Every time we come to Fenway Park, there he is. And he really has become a good first baseman. You know, he doesn't look like he should be, but that he's so big and burly. But I'll tell you, he's got great quickness around the bag, and he's got very soft hands,
Real
too.
good hands.
Yeah.
Here's Ray. Takes that floater off the plate. Ray grounded back to Wakefield and struck out. Well, it's amazing how lucky you get the more you practice.
Isn't that amazing? Uh-oh.
1-1 to count. Yeah, just amazing. The harder you work, the luckier you get.
So those lucky guys were hard workers.
Yeah. Mo's got that one. He'll put it on Durham. So a 1-2-3 inning. That is 8 in a row retired by Wakefield. Will go to the 6th. He leads it by 3.
Tim Wakefield has found the groove here. The White Sox scored 3 runs in the second inning by just one base hit, a 2-run double by Mike Cameron. He came on a ground ball out to score the 3rd run of the inning, but he has been perfect since, giving up just the 1 hit. On the other hand, the Red Sox, 6 runs, 8 hits, and no errors. All that damage going against Scott Air. So Lou Merlone is going to lead it off for Boston here in the top of the 6th. There's a breaking ball strike from Keith Folk. Merlone 1 for 2. He singled in the 4th inning. I think this is going to be a fastball inside. He just misses down low. 1-1 on Merlone. Grounded foul wide of 3rd. Wendell Kim avoids it. Nice play by our ball girl.
Well, we mentioned last night on the short, quick stroke of Lou Merlone. Boy, I tell you, when you got a short, quick stroke and you can turn a fastball around, you've got a chance. But he's got his hole to dig out of right here, being down in the count 1-2.
Oh, change up down low. Fish weren't biting. 2-2. Jason Varitek on deck, and then the top of the order, Darren Lewis.
It's one of the great advantages about playing at Fenway Park, Wemby. I mean, you know, it's just amazing what it does for a hitter's stroke, because you don't have to hit it that hard to hit a home run.
Yeah.
And all of a sudden, you go on a road trip, you have a tough time, you come back, and on the flight back to Fenway Park, you're saying to yourself, boy, is it nice to be coming back.
Yeah.
Because you know that stroke's going to get a little shorter.
Jam shot right there.
There's a Doc Edwards,
goodness.
man.
That's just enough altitude to get the Norton over
He was
first.
a little too short on that one.
Yeah. He hit that so bad, I bet he didn't even crack his bat. Ow! He let that one get on his back hip. So that's the first out, and here's Varitek.
You got to laugh at that, Lou.
Yeah. Boy, back in the old days, they'd be telling him, take the donut off.
That's embarrassing.
Yeah.
Most of the time, guys will laugh at them. They'll laugh at them. Sometimes you get a guy who's really been going bad or whatever. The club's been going bad, and nobody says a word. But 90% of the time, they'll even laugh at it themselves.
Oh, sure. Shooter. 1-1 on Varitek as he flips that one foul. Popped up over our heads. And I want to congratulate Frank Kush and Alan Trammell, who have just been inducted into the Polish American Sports Hall of Fame. And they'll be inducted on July 18th, and that's the 25th anniversary. Frank Kush, of course, the great coach at Arizona State.
Wonderful job out there, didn't he?
Oh, yeah, he put him on the map.
Yeah, he did.
And of course, we all know Alan Trammell, the great shortstop for the Tigers.
I didn't know Alan was Polish.
Oh, yeah. Big celebration coming up on the 18th in Detroit, in Sterling Heights, actually. Good pitch, fastball strike. That gets Veritek.
Well, this is just a blueprint right here. Fills that mid up. He'll grab some bench.
Oh, that's fastball. That tailing action. You start it a little bit inside. The hitter gives up on it slightly, and bang, there it is. Great pitch on 2 strikes, especially with the guy protecting away. Darren Lewis. Grounder to shortstop. Snopek will throw him out. So good inning of work by Keith Foak. 1, 2, 3, and after 5 1/2, the Red Sox still lead at 6-3. It's the bottom of the 6th inning here at Comiskey Park in Chicago. The Sox have mustered just 1 hit off Tim Wakefield. They do have 3 runs, but the Red Sox, led by Mo Vaughn, have 6. Chris Snopek takes the knuckleball down low. Chris has walked and grounded to third. Wakefield with 5 strikeouts. There's a blazer on the inside corner.
Great call, Duke.
I think I got to swing at that one. Take my chances and get out. Knuckleball hit the air left field. O'Leary's got it. A little snow cone action right up against the fence. Wow, hit it hard.
That's good play by O'Leary. That ball was scalded. Knuckleball up out over the plate. Watch him. He'll bobble it just momentarily, but he hangs on to it. There it goes right up the end of the glove. That's a good catch.
Yeah, good concentration. Big Frank takes strike 1 on a knuckler. Ball carrying well this afternoon. Frank fouls that one back on the screen, and you can relive Beatles excitement when the Fab Four host your Fab Friday at Comiskey Park on June 26th. Well, it's not actually John, Paul, George, and Ringo. You will be treated to an evening with American English, the ultimate Beatles impersonators. Sox play the Brewers at 7:05, and for a bloody good time, call 312-831-1-SOX. One-two pitch. Knuckler down low. Albert Bell is on deck. Outfield very deep, straight away for the big hurt. Oh, yeah. Boy, that came back over the middle of the plate. Strikeout number 6.
Wow. Look at the downward action on that thing.
Yeah. Looked like it was almost a triple breaker there.
Yeah.
Away, in, and then boom, down.
I've seen them as you have, triple breakers from a knuckleball. Hoyt Wilhelm had one that was unbelievable.
Yeah, of all of them, they say Hoyt's was the best. It's hard to believe. There's a liner in the center field. Base hit for Albert. Didn't cream it, but it got over the infield. So that's only the 2nd hit given up by Wakefield this afternoon. So a 2-out, Robin Ventura will hit.
Robin Ventura.
That one's down low. Ordonez on deck. Norton was thinking about batting out of order. He was in the on-deck circle a minute ago. There's a fastball strike, 1-1. Surprise, surprise. Here it comes, center cut. Outfield playing Robin the pull a bit. Got good speed in center field. Damon Buford, a very good outfielder, as is the right fielder Darren Lewis. Troy O'Leary made a good play this very inning on the liner off the bat of Chris Snopek. Throw over to first base. Albert gets back. There's Jimmy Williams, the skipper. Sox and Red Sox are 2-2 in the season series. White Sox were 8-3 in 11 games last year. Knuckler inside, 2-1. That one dances just off the plate, so it's 3-1 on Ventura. Grounded foul on the knuckleball. That'll clear out a couple of guys sitting on the edge. So move on. Motions to Wakefield that he'll be playing behind the runner. 3-2 out. Well, they are deep in the outfield. Knuckler, rip foul out of play right side. Robin hitting at .281 as he stands at home plate. 9 homers, 40 RBIs on the season. Sox put 3 on the board in the second inning, and that's it. They had a temporary 3-1 lead. Knuckleball high. So with Maglio Ordonez coming to the plate, let's pause for station identification.
This is America's #1 sports station, WGN, Chicago.
Back at Comiskey Park in Chicago with Ken Harrelson, Tom Paciorek, as we have a meeting at the mound. Joe Kerrigan, the pitching coach, having a word with Timmy Wakefield, telling him throw that knuckleball over the plate for strikes and they probably won't get hits. Yeah, that's it. Wakefield in his career 63 and 51, 2 and 3 lifetime against the Sox, as there is middle linebacker Rich Garces warming up in the Red Sox bullpen. He's a big guy with a pretty good fastball and a good hook. First pitch to Maggs, knuckleball strike, inside corner.
Nasty right there.
Yeah, some really late movement. Wow.
Well, that's what's your theory about getting up in the box before you get all that late movement.
Yeah. Yeah, more than likely you're not going to hit a good one anyway, but then you got a little bit better chance up in the box. There's a shot. He's not going to get that one. One hops the fence. Albert's going to score. Robin in the third. So Maglio Ordonez got a knuckler he could handle. 2-out RBI double. That's his 27th run batted in on the season. And now the tying run is at second base for Norton.
Susan Evans pick for all the ladies out there. Boy, that was just a bullet off the bat of Mag.
Yeah, that knuckleball didn't do a whole lot. It just kind of flopped down a little bit late, and Maggs took advantage of it. He was all over it. So Norton takes one up high. Greg walked and scored in the second inning, and he flied to center. Good play by Damon Buford. That coming in the fourth. So it's 6-4 Boston. And that one taken up high. So Wakefield was walked 4, struck out 6.
Come on, Norton.
And a 2-0 pitch coming up to Norton. Throw, pick off, and that's in the center field. One run's going to score. Wow. In the third goes Ordonez. We've got a 6-5 ball game. That would be an error on... certainly not on Wakefield. A very catchable ball.
Garcia Parra trying to sneak in behind him now. Watch the throw by Wakefield. Very catchable. That should be the error on Garcia Parra. They're going to give it to Wakefield. I think he might change that one.
So the tying run 90 feet away. And all this happened after 2 were out. There's a strike with a knuckler, 3-1. 2 out, nobody on, a single by Bell, walk to Ventura, double to Ordonez, and then the error. 2 runs across as Norton can't get the knuckler. It's 3-2. Six, 8-1 for Boston. 5-3-0 for the White Sox. Fouled back. Does Kurt Schilling pitch every day for Philadelphia? He pitched today, 1. There's a knuckler, and that'll do it. Norton strikes out. 7th for Wakefield. Sox put 2 on the board, though, and after 6, it's 6-5 Boston.
Sox jump right back in it, scoring a pair. 6-8-1 for Boston, 5-3-0 for the good guys. John Valentin will lead it off. He'll be followed by Nomar Garcia Parra and Mo Vaughn. Valentin 0 for 3, or checked it 0 for 2 with a sacrifice bunt. Outfield, straight up, spread out. Takes that pitch down low. Tony Castillo and Billy Seamus, double-barreled activity for the Sox down in their pen. He's behind Valentin 2-0. 13,563 in attendance this afternoon on just a beautiful day here in Chicago. There's a strike on the outside edge. And once again, a reminder, our next game coming your way over WGN Sports will be tomorrow night. Mike Sorotka against Bob Tewksbury as the Minnesota Twins come to town for a 4-game weekend set. Good change right there out in front. That's the way to hit it.
Hard.
Oh, the imagination is great, isn't it? Here's the 2-2. Ooh, good effort. On Friday, Jamie Navarro will lock horns with LaTroy Hawkins. We'll also have that game for you right here with WGN Sports. On Saturday, Jim Parquet against Brad Radke. That ball hit deep to left. Albert over. He's there.
That's a homer at Fenway. You know, I just think that Valentin's losing his power, too, from that approach.
There's no question about it, Wimpy. He's just not the same looking hitter.
No, he's more of like using his arms. He's not throwing his hands into it at all.
Well, they've got one of the best hitting instructors in baseball in Jim Rice. And I don't think that's what Jim's espousing.
No, that's not his teaching tool.
No. Garcia Parra fouls it back. You know, it's funny, too, how sometimes, you know, hitters will not listen. They will come to a guy and they'll say, hey, you know, I got to do it my way. Usually, when that happens, the hitting instructor will just back off. Because you're not going to get through to them unless they're receptive anyway. One of the great features about Charlie Lau is he made the hitters come to him. And when you go to somebody, if that is, you look at Jim Ed in the corner. One of the great features about this, when you make a hitter come to you, then he will listen and he will try to execute what you're trying to impart to him. Snopek throws out Garcia Pera, 2 out.
And you can celebrate Independence Day early when the Sox host the Brewers and treat fans to a special post-game fireworks show in honor of America's independence, sponsored by Ameritech Cellular. For tickets, call 312-831-1SOX.
Here's Mo Vaughn, 2 for 3. 2-run homer, RBI single. He scored a pair. Well, to the contrast of what Valentin's doing, Jim Rice trying to teach as little head movement as possible.
Without question. Why would you want your head to move?
I have no clue. There's a strike. Whew, maybe it's a new fad that's going around, you know?
Well, I don't like it.
I like it as long as they're playing up.
Yeah. Yeah.
I wish all of them be doing it.
Sure.
Good change. And the count 0-2. 6-8-1 for Boston. 5-3-0 for the Sox. Cooter moving to the outside. Upstairs, 2-2. And our congratulations go out to young Tom Paciorek, playing his first professional baseball game last night.
Yeah, that's a big event.
What a There's a base hit through the shift. So Mo Vaughn is 3 for 4. Keith Folk had retired the first 6 he had faced, and that'll bring up the DH Jim Leyritz. Yeah, that's quite an event in the life of a young man.
And once you get it over with, you can relax and get down to your business too. Yeah.
It doesn't make any difference what you do the first game. Obviously, you'd like to, hit a home run. First time up there, hit a grand slam to win it in the bottom of the ninth. But it doesn't make any difference what you do your first game. Get it over. Get settled in a little bit. And then go to work.
Yeah.
Bit of a gap in right center field. Short lead by Vaughn at first. Good change, good motion, and the count evens at 1. When we say good motion, the hitters will let you know, even at home, watching the game, when there's a good motion. And you see them get that far out in front, you know it was an excellent arm action and excellent motion on that particular pitch.
Absolutely.
And he comes back with a fastball. He's a little tardy. Nice one-handed catch by one of the fans just to our right, who's going to give it to a youngster. Yes, that's nice. The guy in the blue right there tossed it over to the youngster in the corner.
He said, did I just do that?
I like that. Nice block by Cooter. Yeah, the youngster comes over and thanks him, shakes his hand. Mo Vaughn. He's one of my favorites. He can hit.
Yes, he can.
But you brought it up earlier about how his dedication to the game itself. It's almost like he's just a park rat, Loves to be at the ballpark, comes out here early. First guy you see out on that field. Gets sawed off right there. I think most guys that played in the big leagues were park rats at one time.
Sure. Get there early and stay late.
Yep. Mo does a tremendous amount of civic work around the New England area for youngsters. Good pitch off speed, a good motion. He'll grab some bench, and that'll do it. 7th inning stretch. It's 6-5 bad guy. Right now it's time to check out our Miller Lite Major League scoreboard. In the American League, later on, Minnesota, Detroit. Kansas City is hosted by Cleveland. Rosario against Gooden. Toronto at Tampa Bay. Yankees take on the Orioles. That's at Oriole Park. Andy Pettit against Mike Mussina. Oakland at Texas. Rogers against Burkett. Good matchup. Seattle is hosted by the Angels. Cicero against Olivares. Over in the National League in the 7th inning, Milwaukee leading the Cubs 6-3. The final, Philadelphia and Kurt Schilling beat the Pirates 3-1 at Veterans Stadium. 3-1. Rockies leading the Giants. That's in the 2nd. Out in California, later on Arizona at Cincinnati. The Mets take on Montreal. Bobby Valentine's Mets. Jones against Pavano. Fighting Fish. Or down in upper Atlanta, I should say, taking on the Braves. Tony La Russa's Cardinals at Houston. Stottlemyre against Lima, and the Dodgers are at San Diego. Valdez against Sterling Hitchcock. Right here, it's the bottom of the 7th inning. 6 runs, 9 hits, 1 error for Boston. 5 runs, 3 hits, no errors for the Sox. And a pitching change, Wimpy.
Rich Garces, the right-hander, coming on. He's 1-0, 2.32 earned run average, 17 appearances, 1 save, just 21 hits in 31 innings, 15 walks, and 28 strikeouts. He got good stuff. We saw him the other night. He's a full-figure guy. Big barrel-chested, a good fastball and a good breaking ball as that fastball misses inside.
Yeah, he and that Juan Acevedo, the Cardinals, they got some chest on them, don't they?
Yeah, big guys. There's a breaking ball strike, curveball.
What did one of the scouts tell you they were getting Acevedo at?
They were getting him at 96, 97.
Yeah.
Just like Pedro Martinez last night. Of course, he's a lot larger than Pedro.
I guess.
Jeez. Bunted foul. Rich Garces, 27 years old. 6 foot, 215 pounder. Yeah, right.
Who writes these books up?
I don't know. I'm just
I
reading
wish
them.
somebody would write me up in one of those books.
Here's Ken Harrelson, 6'2", 195.
Oh, boy. Those days are gone. Gravity's got me.
There's a little quail foul down the right side. And Mike hanging in there, 1 and 2.
Yeah, the same guy who wrote that book's got Jimmy Ed Rice at 6'2", 210.
Oh, yeah. Right. Right. He got in on him, popped it up right side. Lou Merlone, the second baseman, calling. He makes the catch, and there's 1 gone. And hey, kids, Sunday, June 28th, is an extra special Applebee's Kids Day. All kids will receive an autographed book as they enter Comiskey Park that can be used during the pregame autograph session. All kids will also be permitted to run the bases, weather permitting. This is the perfect time to bring mom and dad to a ball game. For tickets, call 312-831-1SOX. And also visit a local Applebee's, and your kids can enter to win 2 tickets to an Applebee's Kids Day game and a chance to throw out the first pitch. So there. Chad Kruder takes a fastball strike. Yeah, some of these weights are really misleading in these press guides.
Remember, that's what, 3 years ago, they had Cecil Fielder listed at 6'3", 235.
Yeah, something like that.
Tiger, look at this.
There's a shot.
That's sweet.
Chad Kruder's going to try for 2. The throw by O'Leary is offline. Thank you. So the tying run in scoring position as Chad Kruder continues his hot hitting. Boy, Chad drove in a run his last time out with an infield out. And now the double. Good job of hitting, going with that pitch. Pitch was on the outside part. Valentin had no chance. No, Ray Durham 0 for 3. Ray's 0 for 11 in this series.
Yeah, Ray is glad to see Wakefield out of it.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, Ray doesn't like those guys with those trick pitches. No. Sinker misses down and away. Split finger pitch. We saw him against Traxel with the Cubs. He didn't like Traxel. But right now, more of a conventional kind of a guy. Garces, fastball, curve slider. Sinkage right there. 1-1. As Billy Seamus warming in the bullpen. Hey, Keith Folk has been very good this afternoon, coming in the 5th inning. Working 2 2/3 so far.
7 out of 8.
And we've got a timeout. Mike Caruso is going to go out and run for Chad Kruder.
Well, that's going to create some more space out there for Ray Durrell. Somebody's going to have to hang out around second base, which they would not have to do with Kruder, so they can maximize their range. Now with Caruso, if they don't, they'll just go ahead and pilfer that side.
Could possibly do it. That gets by Veritek, and that will get him to third.
See?
Well, Kruder could have done that.
See what intimidation and speed will get you?
Oh, I don't know. I still think you got to kind of catch that ball.
Yeah, took that one right off the heel of the mitt.
Yeah. Doink. So Ray with a good RBI chance right here. Chris Snopek is on deck. Infield in on the grass. Garcia inching his way now. Garcia Parra, that is, as that pitch popped up. Merlone. So that's the second out. And Chris Snopek will hit. Ray looked like he went fishing right there. Wow, look at this. 2 earned runs over his last 20 1/3 for Garces.
Everything he throws, as you alluded to earlier, moves.
Yeah. Yeah, when he keeps it down, it's awfully
Everything's
tough.
sinking. You got to make him get the ball up.
Oh, yeah. Garces from Maracay, Venezuela. Chris is 0 for 2. He takes a high breaking ball. Outfield swung around to right field. Time is called. Charlie O'Brien coming in from the bullpen. No, it's not called. Kind of running in. Slider strike on the outside corner. 1-1. Charlie's got to be exhausted right about now. He had a tough night with the bat last night. Charlie O'Brien with the golden sombrero. Hangs that slider inside. So it's 2-1 on Snopek. Frank Thomas is on deck. There's no activity in that Boston bullpen right now. Boston's bullpen has had the lowest ERA in the league. Oh, he hung it high to center field. Buford is there on the warning track, makes the catch. So the Red Sox dodge a bullet after 7. Boston leads at 6-5. It is the top of the 8th inning here at Comiskey Park. 6-5 Boston. They have 9 hits and 1 error. The Sox with 4 hits and no errors. Mike Caruso moves into the game at shortstop. And Charlie O'Brien is the new catcher. And a pitching change also. Billy Seamus, 1-2 with a 1.46 ERA and 22 appearances, 2 saves, 24 2/3, giving up 13 hits, 10 walks, and 14 strikeouts. And a great effort this afternoon by Keith Folk. Keith worked 2 1/3, gave up no runs. with this good Boston lineup as that pitch popped up foul out of play left side. Yeah, Keith gave up just the one hit. A couple of strikeouts. Good work. Right on the outside corner. 0-2. Tried to spot that splitter on the outside corner and just misses. O'Leary hitting at 297. Fastball misses. 2-2. "13 homers, 35 runs batted in for the Boston left fielder." There's a fastball. He can't get it. So Billy Seamus strikes out his first hitter.
And right now, let's check out our Toyota game summary. 6-9-1 for Boston, 5-4-0 for the Sox. Mo Vaughn, his 20th home run. That was a 2-run blast in the third inning. That tied the game at 3. Sox have stolen 3 bases. One of them came into play.
Damon Buford takes a breaking ball away. Damon 0 for 2 with a walk. Robin in at third as that fastball misses away. Lou Merloni on deck. We're in the 8th inning. Red Sox lead it by 1 as that fastball. Ooh, zip on it. Hey, wait a minute. Get that shirt off, buddy.
Tell Kyle to come down here.
Look at that. High in the center field. Cameron on his horse. Back to the warning track. He's got it. Right at the 400-foot sign. Boy, Buford gave that one a ride. Thank you very much. That's 2 gone.
50, Lou Merloni.
Very graceful action of Mike Cameron.
Yeah, no panic right there. He turned
No.
the wrong way, but he's still able to make up for it. Boy, I do that. I do a couple of cartwheels, flip on my back. Ground rule double.
I'm going to take you right in the back of the dome.
See a lot of funny stuff going on that field, don't you?
Who was that? Who was that fullback at Wisconsin that played for the Angels?
Oh, gosh.
You know, the big guy.
Years ago, right?
Yeah, I can't
Oh,
think of his
boy.
name. Anyway, we'd just gone into California. I said, well, we'll hold that off. To play the Angels, there was a big story in the paper that day about how he was telling this reporter that he had really improved on his defense. Well, I came up to plate in the first inning. With that pitch fouled away right side. I hit a line drive in the left field. He turns around, he goes back. The ball hit him right in the back of the head, and he was down. I'm telling you.
Oh, my goodness.
He's a pretty good hitter there for a while.
2-2. Let's see. That wasn't Mike Epstein.
No.
He was a football player, I thought. Yes, right on the outside corner. Nice work there by Keith. Check that, Billy Seamus. 1, 2, 3. We go to the bottom of the 8th inning. White Sox trail by 1. It's the bottom of the 8th inning. 6-5 Red Sox. Rich Garza's taking his warm-up tosses, and he'll be facing the big guys in the White Sox lineup. Frank Thomas, Albert Bell, and Robin Ventura. Oh, guys, let's score a couple right here. Boy, the relief pitching for the Sox today has been terrific. Keith Folk, 2 1/3, give it nothing, and Billy Seamus last inning had a 1-2-3-8. So here's Frank. Billy with one of the lower ERAs in all of baseball. 1.46 coming in.
And the reason being, obviously, he's been throwing strikes, and he's had a lot on it.
Yeah, good fastball. Frank takes strike 1 on the heater. Outfield swung around the right. Garces, ooh, breaking ball. Slow, right on the corner. There he is, Flash Gordon. He's been their closer with 19 saves. Away. Curveball misses way outside. Well, the Red Sox coming into today's action 9 games behind the Yankees. Although they're 13 games over 500, that's a pretty darn good season. Fastball down low. New York, though, 47-16. Whew. 31 games over. Staying away. This time he got it upstairs, and Frank swings right through it.
And a reminder, you can check out the Chicago White Sox MasterCard credit card. It's a powerful lineup of all-star advantages like no annual fee and a low introductory annual percentage rate. Apply today by calling 1-800-780-5520.
Boy, Garces really popped that one upstairs. A couple of slow curveballs, a couple of sinkers, and then bang. Frank couldn't lay off. Could have to change his eye angle as that first pitch to Albert is down low. Once again, they're swung around the right for Bell. Albert is 1 for 3 with a run scored. 2-0. That one misses away. 6-9-1 for Boston. 5-4-0 for the White Sox. That's 3-0.
Maybe what you're talking about in between innings is true. I'll tell you, Eddie Hickok's had a good game back there.
I think he's been great. No complaining by any players today. As that pitch misses away just outside. Come on, Robin. First walk issued by Garces, and here comes Jimmy Williams. He may want this ace in there, ask him to go a little bit longer than what he would normally want. Yeah, he's taking the ball. He is taking that ball from Garces, who works an inning and a third, giving up the 1 hit. So a break in the action. Here comes the closer, Flash Gordon. We'll be right back.
Rich Garces went an inning and a third, giving up no runs, 1 hit, walked 1, and that's what got him out of there, as he has just walked Albert Bell. And Flash Gordon coming on. 30-year-old right-hander out of Sebring, Florida. He's just 5'9", 180 pounds. Now resides in Avon Park, right outside of Orlando. Look at those numbers. 4-1, 196 Erie, 34th appearance, 19 saves, 31 strikeouts, 20 hits in 36 2/3. That's good.
It's very good. He is definitely their closer. Well, he's been a starting pitcher most of his career, and you talk about a hook. He's a power pitcher with a curveball.
Power curveball.
Yeah, he is really tough. When he is locating that hook, it is very, very tough to put in play. Much less put it in play hard.
When he's locating that curveball, all of a sudden that high fastball of his looks like it's coming up there about 100 miles an hour.
Yeah. Yeah, he faltered there for a while at Kansas City, mainly because of his control.
Come on, Robin. And plus the fact he fell in love with the curveball. And when he fell in love with the curveball there for an extended period of time, his fastball shortened up on him.
Yeah, it did. Well, last year, he saved 11 ball games. That fastball misses away to Ventura. But with Boston in '96, he started 34 ball games. Last year, he appeared in 25 games in relief with 11 saves, just 155 hits and 182 and 2/3. Fastball misses way wide, so it's 2-0. Maglio Ordonez on deck, 1 out here in the bottom of the 8th inning. You see Robbins is 5 for 30, but 6 walks against Gordon in his career. Strike on the outside corner, says Ed Hickox. I concur. His rookie year, he was 17-9.
Oh, he was awesome.
For the Royals, yeah.
Awesome stuff.
Here's the 2-1. Fastball, he threw it by him upstairs.
That's the thing about a guy like Gordon who throws hard and he's got that great curveball. You got to make him get it down because of the velocity of his fastball, and yet when you make him get it down, you have a big tendency to chase the hook.
That's right. We'll get the fastball down, the hook up. Okay, that's easy.
Yeah, how would you do that? Show me somebody can do that.
This is the first guy we've ever said that about, isn't it? That's a tough combo to beat right there, is Jimmy Williams flashing some signs. I don't know if any of them mean anything. 2-2 coming to Robin. Fastball, got in on him a bit. Darren Lewis makes the catch. Boy, don't you know Robin in the back of his mind had to be thinking, he's got to throw me a hook. So good job by Gordon coming back from a 2-0 count. Maglio Ordonez. Mags 1 for 2, double hit by pitch, an RBI and a run scored. As Gordon goes to work, throw over to first base, Albert gets back. Mags hitting at 252. 7 homers, 27 driven in now. Outfield once again is very, very deep and swung around the right. There's that hook, misses in the dirt. Greg Norton on deck. Minnesota comes in tomorrow to start a 3-game series. 4-game. Mike Sorotka and Bob Tewksbury. That's a good pitching matchup. Mike with that great effort, complete game victory his last time. Boy, he handcuffed everybody right there. And that's our next telecast tomorrow night at 7. Sorotka and Tewksbury. Those are a couple guys that'll get it and throw it. Mike 7-6 with a 4.7 ERA. Bob Tewksbury 3-8.
That's liable to be a quick Waco tomorrow.
Yeah. We had him on Saturday at the Metrodome. Great football facility. There's the 1-1. Hook misses in.
Yeah, you predicted 215. It was 214.
Yes. Sometimes, you know, we're a little off.
But you're always under, you know?
Yeah. Fastball up high, so Mag's in good shape right here at 3-1.
Another reason it's such a great game, you got one of the best closers in baseball out there right now. He's just 5'9". He had one of the best pitchers in baseball last night out there for Boston. He's just 5'11".
It is incredible.
Yeah.
You don't have to be big. Is that Albert in motion? Pitch fouled out of play. Good jump. And the count goes 3-2, so he'll be going for sure here. Veritek setting up outside. Fastball. Tried to throw it by him. Mags just got a piece of it back on the screen.
It's one of the beautiful things about this game. They come in all sizes and shapes.
Yeah, you don't have to be huge. You don't have to be tall. Actually, the game is probably made a little bit easier for shorter people, especially from a hitting standpoint, conducive to a short, quick swing. As there's a rocket. Oh,
man,
my
look at
God.
that play.
Lord have mercy. He killed it, but Garcia Parra makes a terrific play, and that'll end the inning. We've played 8, 6-5 Boston.
What a play by Nomar Garcia Parra as we get set to go to the top of the 9th inning. I mean, you talking about a bullet off the bat. And we'll show it to you as Jason Varitek will lead it off here for Boston. Billy Seamus for his first pitch over for a strike. This ball is absolutely killed. And watch how Garcia Parra stays with it. That's as hard as Max can hit a baseball right there.
And you talk about getting on top of a high fastball. That was a great job of hitting.
Max is going to be some kind of good player.
Wow.
That young man can do a lot of things.
Well, you know, you got, in order to hit that, that's 90, 92 miles an hour right there. You got to get your hands up above the ball to do that. You got to be short and quick.
You got to be fighting gravity, every factor.
Yeah.
3-1 the count to Varitek. Baron Lewis on deck. John Valentin in the hole. Just turning in. Boston with 1 in the first, 2 in the third, and 3 in the fifth. Sox with 3 in the second and 2 in the sixth. That's popped up. Caruso making the call, has the ball, and it's out number 1.
You know, that play last inning was just exactly the way the game is supposed to be played. Gorton makes a good pitch. Ordonez makes a great swing, and Garcia makes a great play to end the inning. It was terrific.
He can play. If that had been me, I would look like the greatest bullfighter in the world, man.
Ole!
Ole that sucker.
By the way, you sure you're not related to him? Nomar and you.
Nomar's a handsome young man.
He is that, isn't he?
Look at that smile.
He's a nice young man, too.
I heard he was a great guy. Great guy.
Great guy.
There's a strike on the outside corner. The ball is striking out. Lewis is 2 for 4. He's 3 for 5. Get to it. Max does. Guns it back in. He would have been DOA.
I'll tell you, Darren Lewis is just a completely different hitter from what we have seen in the past. And what was he, a 230 hitter coming in this year? Jim Rice is really doing a great job. Remember, he used to collapse that backside completely. Well, he is more of a standardized hitter right now. That back heel coming off the ground. Straight front leg, and he's getting ahead of the bat out there, something we did not see.
No. Some of the balls he's hitting for line drives here, he was firing them over that first base dugout.
Yes.
Breaking ball strike to Valentin. Well, you got to keep that backside on. When that backside collapses, you have absolutely, virtually no chance.
Yeah, he was a classic example of that, too. Collapsing that backside.
Got good speed, 11 stolen bases and 17 attempts. There's so many variables that go into being a hitting instructor and/or learning how to hit, keeping the head still, having a good idea at the plate. As that pitch popped up, and Valentin continues that big head motion of his up there, and that's out number 2. Keeping the backside up, knowing the strike zone, knowing the umpire and their zone. That's something that's very seldom talked about today. Going over the umpires before the game or before a series and talking about their strike zones among the hitters. So here's Garcia Parra, 2 for 3. Scored a pair, driven in 1. Hitting at .305. He of the busy feet Garcia Parra. Well, he's got those feet in motion.
It's like he's doing the merengue up there, but he can hit.
Got a hanger right there. One and one to count. In case you're looking to the Sox ninth, it'll be the lower third of the order. The scheduled hitters are Norton, Cameron, and Caruso. This is the man you want. Mo Vaughn on deck. Good fastball right in on the fist. Seamus ready with the 1-2. Just off the corner. Good effort. Take him right here. Well, when you get to a 2-2 count on a good hitter, you better try to get him on the 2-2 count with whatever you're going to throw. Make it your best one. Lewis got a good jump. Takes off. He steals it. And the count goes full. So Lewis now with his 12th stolen base. There's a hard hit base hit. So the stolen base results in a run, and it's a 7-5 Boston lead. Garciaparra 3 for 4.
And Darren Lewis once again doing his job as the leadoff man for Boston.
Here's Mo Vaughn. He's 3 for 4. They put the shift on. Good snatch right there by Charlie O'Brien. Mo, his first time up, hit a bullet. Took Cameron right up to the fence in center field. Then he hit a home run over the center field fence. Singled in a run. Added another single. There's a good splitter. Seven, 11, and 1 for the Red Sox. 5, 4, and 0 for the White Sox. Charlie couldn't do anything with that one, so Garciaparra moves into scoring position on the wild pitch. And they're going to put him on. So the intentional walk to Mo Vaughn, and that'll bring up the DH, Jim Leyritz. Leyritz this afternoon 0 for 3, but he does have a sacrifice fly.
I hope right here that Billy doesn't try and trick Leyritz. Let's come after him with his hard stuff and see what happens.
Outfield to the right. As the count moves to 2-0. So the pitchers of record are the starters: Scott Air, Tim Wakefield. It's 3-0. Troy O'Leary on deck. Tony Castillo, as he walks in, and that'll load him up. And here comes Jerry Manuel. He's going to go get Tony Castillo. So breaking the action, Billy Seamus got himself into a jam here in the top of the 9th inning. He'll depart, and we'll be back to tell you about the Sox southpaw.
Here's Tony Castillo, 1-2 on the season, a 6.84 earned run average, 23 appearances, 26 in the third, giving up 36 hits, 9 walks, and 14 strikeouts. So his job right here is to hold them right there, get that one out, get the Sox in to hit the bottom of the 9th inning. Troy O'Leary, pretty good hitter against left-handed pitching, though he hangs in there well. So this is not going to be any piece of cake. As you mentioned, Hawk, Billy Seamus got in trouble with the walks last inning. Of course, he gave up a hit to Lewis. He stole second, the single by Garcia Parra. The wild pitch, intentional walk to Vaughn, and then the 4-pitch walk to Jim Leyritz. Coming after him with breaking stuff, which is exactly what Leyritz wants to hit.
So the 4th Sox pitcher of the afternoon. And while he's taking his warm-up tosses, I want to say thank you to Dan Hansen, watching down in Champaign this afternoon. And he said the name that we were looking for earlier, talking about an outfielder with the California Angels, was Rick Reichert, who was a tight end at Wisconsin. Rick was a terrific athlete.
Oh, yeah.
Very, very strong individual. Boy, he could hit the ball a long way. So thank you, Dan.
Meanwhile, Troy O'Leary hitting .320 against left-handed pitching.
That's good. Takes that pitch upstairs. Sacks packed with Carmines. Garcia Parra, Vaughn, and Leyritz. There's a strike to even the count at 1. They're into the top of the 9th inning at Wrigley. Brewers are leading the Cubs 6-3. Sammy Sosa's cranked out his 25th homer. Just off the outside corner, so now O'Leary got himself in pretty good shape. 2 balls and a strike. That's foul back. Souvenir in the upper tank and a 2-2 count. Outfield slightly to the left. Get foul. Get foul. It is. No, it's fair. Fair ball. That'll score a pair. So it's a 9-5 Red Sox lead.
.38 RBIs now for O'Leary. Oh, it was a slow curveball. He was way out in front of it, but kept his hands back just long enough to hit the double. And we're going to have another pitching change.
So another break in the action, and we'll be back to tell you about the new Sox hurler. Big 2-run double by Troy O'Leary right down the right field line. There's just a hanging curveball. He hooks it. We were hoping it would get foul. Boink kicks up the chalk. Another couple inches, and it's just a scary strike.
Yep. But we do have a new pitcher. It's James Baldwin, 2-3, 8.53 ERA, 83 hits allowed in 57 innings, 31 walks, and 39 strikeouts.
Here's the center fielder, Damon Buford. So 9-12-1 for Boston, 5-4-0 for the Sox. Buford looks at that pitch down low. Sox were held to just one hit through the first 5 innings by Wakefield. That was a 2-run double by Mike Cameron as that ball hit deep to left. Way back, Albert at the wall looks up. That's a 3-run homer. It is 12-5 Boston. Those 6 runs have crossed the plate here in the top of the 9th inning. It's coming with 2 out and 1 man on. That ball hit into the gap in right center field. Maggs is there. Hauls it in. It'll retire the side, but the damage has been done. And we will go to the bottom of the 9th. It's Boston by 7. That's the story here as we get set to go to the bottom of the 9th inning. Flash Gordon taking his warm-up tosses. 12, 13, and 1. A big 6 spot in the top of the 9th. As Damon Buford just cranked out his 4th homer of the year. A big 3-run blast. Way back in the seats in left field. So for the Sox, Greg Norton will lead it off. He'll be followed by Mike Cameron and then Charlie O'Brien. And a reminder, this afternoon's telecast on WGN has been produced by Susan Evans, directed by Phil Moore. Skip Ellison. The associate producer is the mayor, Mean Joe Groob. The coordinating producer of White Sox baseball is Kim Fields, and the executive producer of WGN Sports is Bob Vorwall. So here's Norton. 0 for 2 with a walk and a run scored. Looks at that fastball up high. Two and 0 the count. Pours that one right down the heart. Huge gap in right center field. I mentioned the Minnesota Twins come into town tomorrow night to start that 4-game weekend series. Mike Sorotka against Bob Tewksbury. We'll have it for you right here over WGN. On Friday, Jamie Navarro against LaTroy Hawkins. That game also over WGN. On Saturday, Jim Parquet against Brad Radke. And on Sunday, Jason Bray against Mike Morgan. 3-1 pitch. Ball hit hard. Mofon sucks it up. So 1 out. And right now let's check out our Miller Genuine Draft play of the game. It's coming back in the 3rd inning. Nomar Garcia para aboard, 2 out, and Mofon at the plate. Whoopi.
Well, he got a breaking ball from Scott Air. It was up and out over the plate, and Mo likes that pitch. As you can see, deposits it right into the backdrop. He can hit. He's got 3 RBIs today.
Here's Mike Cameron. Like that big 2-run double back in the 2nd inning. That put the Sox on top as he also scored later on. They led it 3-1 with Vaughn's homer. Tied it. And Mo later on put him on top in the 5th with an RBI single. There's a good hook. 0-2 the count. Wants a high fastball. Checks it up and just got a piece of it. 5 runs on 4 hits for the Sox, and 4 hits. The Cameron double. Ordonez an RBI double. Single by Bell and a double by Kruder. Another foul tip. This one off the mask. Oh, Maggie gets himself another knock. Fairtech to the outside. Got him. Hook to go. So here comes Caruso. Mike hitting an even 300 to go along with those 2 homers and 21 driven in. Fairtech to the inside. And there's a shot. Mo Vaughn sucks it up. He can pick it. And this ball game is over. So Flash Gordon comes on, nails it down for Wakefield. Boston wins at 12-5, and we'll be back with the final totals right after this. Boston takes the finale of this 3-game set. They win at 12-5. So for my partner, the Wimperoo, Tom Paciorek, this is the Hawk Ken Harrelson. So long, everybody.
Chicago White Sox baseball on WGN. Brought to you by Miller Genuine Draft, who reminds you it's time for a good old macro brew. Your neighborhood Ford dealer. Quality people, quality products. Coca-Cola, always a hit, always Coca-Cola. Toyota, every day belongs to you. Make it count. Toyota, every day. Aflac, insuring over 40 million people worldwide. ComEd, the official energy company of the Chicago White Sox. ComEd, what do you do with your power? And by Southwest Airlines, offering low fares and frequent